Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
We're all that's left of the Z Fighters, destroyed ruins of Pepper Town.
Guess what? Final Form Frieza is our tutorial boss.
Also, Goku is in this game. Welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Ball Z, the Legacy of Goku 2. First things first, there is a red capsule over here with my name on it. Yep, that's my name. Hey guys, Strength Capsule 26 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon... I've already done that. Anyways, last time we started the second game, and so far we've been bombarded with a dystopian future, a new character called Trunks, androids, new mechanics, a remastered soundtrack, dialogue ripped directly from the anime dub, a practice boss against Final Form Frieza. Oh jeez. And now here we are on the Northern Wastelands, and snap! The real Frieza is headed here to Earth, and we have the fight of our lives on our hands. This is literally the biggest fight most of the people here are ever going to face, and half of the people here have never dealt with someone of this power level before. Like, Tien, Yamcha, and Chaozu never met Frieza, so they never sensed how powerful he is, never fought against him. Vegeta, in all of his optimism, is just basically being like, Kakarot failed, Frieza's heading here, blah blah blah, I am the Prince of all Saiyans. Okay, sure, thank you for the vote of confidence. Krillin, on the other hand, who was brutally murdered by Frieza, is freaking out about the fact that he can sense two energy signatures that feel like Frieza. And even with all of this knowledge on top, Bulma is here for one reason only. She's been a part of the group since Dragon Ball, and while they were on Namek, she never got to see what Frieza looked like. So she just wants to be here. And even Vegeta yelling at her is not going to scare her away. She is a strong, independent woman that don't need anyways. So Piccolo's gathering everyone up, and Vegeta's basically explaining that based on Frieza's trajectory... the dog is getting worked up because I think Frieza's going to land soon. He's like a loud helicopter going overhead. Is it Frieza? Is it Frieza? Oh my god, Frieza's coming! Oh my god! Okay, real world crisis averted. Frieza's ship is still heading to Earth, and based on the trajectory, Vegeta is pretty certain it's going to be landing around here. And as much as Piccolo's been trying to rally everyone together and give them a mild pep talk, it is beyond comprehension how powerful these guys are, and even with all the Z Fighters, we're still very outmatched without Goku here. We are already technically fighting a potentially losing battle, and with that earthquake, it's very clear Frieza is now here. Especially with those reactions from Vegeta and Krillin. And Bulma charges her way to the middle of the group, and Piccolo puts himself off to the side. This woman knows no fear. Anyways, an oh-so-familiar ship, and atop it is a cybernetically enhanced and repaired Final Form Frieza. Along with his father, the admiral leader of their army, King Cold. Get it? Because his name's Frieza, like a fridge, and it's King Cold because... Yes, it's cold puns! This is in a universe where Bulma's father is Dr. Briefs. I mean, are you surprised at all? Regardless, Frieza is dispatching his troops. The oh-so-familiar bears and lizards all with scouters wearing armor, and if they find us, they are to show no mercy. Cue my second favorite theme in the entire game, with a character name we have already seen before. We have a guest, hailing from the game's prologue. This is an adult, fully grown Trunks, who we last saw mourning the death of an adult, fully grown Gohan. And he's boasting a lot of power, and everyone can sense it. This scene, oh my teenage years watching this show, it was insane when Trunks made the scene. And then he boasts the fact that Frieza is about to go up against a real Super Saiyan. That's right, the prologue was hinting at it, but he has mastered Super Saiyan and is going to effortlessly take out each and every one of Frieza's troops. And then go completely badass and slice Frieza in half.
This scene in my teenage years, I loved it in the Funimation dub. I loved seeing it again in this game. To be fair, they did it really well in Abridged. And in Abridged Kai. That was awesome. And just the pure, cold, no mercy side of Trunks. It was the one thing that was Goku's flaw in the previous arc. And Trunks is just like, yeah, I'm not gonna have that problem whatsoever. He immediately became my favorite character in the whole canon. And then like a complete dork, he just flies up here and he's like, hey guys, I just killed Frieza, what's happening? He's just casually walking up like it's nothing. And he's like, alright, cool, just gonna fly over here. And what I love is from that, the tone of everyone in the group changes. You talk to them immediately afterwards. I don't know who he is, but he is no Super Saiyan. The tone has completely shifted. I love it. It's so good. And oh, Bulma, you have no idea how ironic that comment is. Oh, jeez. So everyone's just baffled by his power level and how effortlessly he was able to take out Frieza. And that there's a difference between bravery and stupidity, and at least this guy seems to be on our side. Piccolo's even pretty confident. Pua, I was trying to talk to Yamcha. Jeez. Okay. He was scared out of us. I love it. I love it. I love how everyone's gone from, I'm really nervous that Frieza's coming to, I'm so glad this guy is on our side. And I love it. So we all fly over here. Everyone's just making their way down a little bit cautiously. Yamcha helps Bulma down, which is why he walked. And Vegeta just powers ahead. He's like, explain yourself, boy. And then Gohan casually walks up to Trunks in an oh-so-familiar way that kind of mirrors the way that the plot started. And Vegeta immediately wants answers and Trunks to explain how he could turn Super Saiyan. Gohan's just asking like, yeah, that's what happened. And Vegeta's like, no, Kakarot's kid is a half Saiyan, so if you count him, that only makes the three of us. There's no way you could have Saiyan blood. Wow, such a skeptic. Saiyan pride all over the place. And now just casually being like, by the way, Goku's arriving any second now. It's about time for the titular character to actually be in the limelight again. And then in true form, the camera focuses primarily on Goku, who has just stepped out of one of the Ginyu Force's Saiyan pods. And oh, I love how the camera is now focused on him. It's fantastic. Goku is alive and he escaped Namek in a Saiyan pod. And is very surprised that everyone is here, ready for his arrival. He's baffled by the fact that everyone knows that he was here because he and Trunks have never met. Key thing of importance. Trunks hasn't actually said his name. He knows everyone, and we know his name because of the speech bubbles, but that's completely metagaming at this point. And Trunks is pulling Goku aside because he has a lot of things he wants to explain in private. Mostly about where he's coming from and the reason he's here. Goku, at least in a serious moment, promises to keep things secret. Trunks explains who he is and that he's traveled back in time 20 years from the future. This is the same Trunks we saw in the opening. He is battle-hardened after seeing Gohan die. Vegeta was right, only he, yourself, and Gohan have Saiyan blood. And it is revealed that Vegeta is the father of Trunks. The two full-blooded Saiyans both birth half-blooded Saiyans. How about that? But that's not the important thing. The important thing is about the androids. 3 years from now, at 10 o'clock, they're going to arrive and lay waste to a Membo Island. These are the androids that Trunks has been fighting in his time. Created by Dr. Gero of the Red Ribbon Army, who you may remember from Advanced Adventure, being the source of General Blue, Admiral Red, Admiral Black, the main antagonists of Dragon Ball. Their crimes have been continuing through this game, and we're going to be seeing a lot of evidence of Dr. Gero's technology and the Red Ribbon Army. Dr. Gero not being mentioned in Advanced Adventure because his involvement in the plot is a lot more Dragon Ball Z centric. Goku complimenting him on his skill for taking out Frieza, but that the androids are obviously a lot stronger. And then also Trunks explaining that all of the Z Fighters have been brutally murdered. He refers to them as the Special Forces, but everyone refers to them as the Z Warriors. It's kind of a thing. Piccolo's gone, so there are no Dragon Balls. And then the big question, what happened to Goku? Was he taken out too? Not very long from now, about a year's time, Goku is going to contract the heart virus. And the only antidote for it comes from Trunks' time, where a cure has been manufactured. In doing all of these things, Trunks is risking changing time. Goku, be serious! You're gonna die in a year, dude. Yes, Trunks is explaining that he shouldn't be doing this because it risks changing history, which we will come back to. But Trunks has said that his mother has been trusting of him making these efforts. It is then revealed that his mother is Bulma. Let that sink in for a moment. Goku, that is basically the reaction I had at the age of 15 watching this arc. Vegeta and Bulma are Trunks' parents. Yes, Trunks is at risk of changing the future by being here. One of the key things being not to mention his origin, otherwise he may never be born. It is Trunks' hope that giving Goku this information will change the future by preventing the android attack. Goku reiterates the information about the Amembo Island attack and about the heart virus. Everyone's taking it in some stead, Vegeta of course being Captain Skeptical. How many times can I say it this part? Make a counter, everyone! Oh, and wanting to know immediately everything about how we survived, but Goku's like, I want to go home and see my wife. Can you blame him? He's been gone for years. And so he leaves Gohan with a choice. We can go into the woods to train, or we can go into the house to surprise Chi-Chi. Obviously, surprising Chi-Chi is a big deal. This is the first time in years Gohan has got to see his family together. Okay, Chi-Chi is not in the kitchen anymore. I accidentally opened the door. Gohan, close the kitchen door. Anyways, so Goku's making a surprise entrance through the front door and Chi-Chi is amazed. This is a really heartwarming scene that is actually also in the anime as well, and I love the dynamic of this. You actually get to see Goku and Chi-Chi interacting. The headstrong battler side, but sort of softened because he cares about Chi-Chi, and then like the softer non-doting, non-academically oriented sides of Chi-Chi. And then the seriousness of Goku having to explain the news to Chi-Chi and explaining that there is no avoiding this, we have to fight. And Chi-Chi, unfortunately, even coming from a martial arts background, wanting him to just settle down and be a family man now that he's back. And just the back and forth seesawing. But of course not wanting to get Gohan involved, because I mean, you wouldn't want your son involved in that. Especially the second your husband has come back from basically being in space. It's the whole things I reiterated last time. This dynamic, this back and forth is just kind of really touching. And then Chi-Chi makes a compromise. Gohan can fight, but the second this fight is over, please promise me you'll let him focus on his studies. Goku wanting to move on to new things, and Chi-Chi being, you know, my husband's going to be the death of me. This whole family, and this music outside the house, it really makes it clear they are a very well-rounded group of characters, and I love them so much. Like, Goku can be sort of a dunce, and if you've watched Abridged, you really see it, but he's got a heart of gold at the center of it, and I love that. Now, the animals in the wilderness have been transported to evil beings by Garlic Jr.'s Blackwater Mist. You may remember at the start of Dragon Ball Legacy of Goku, I mentioned the Garlic Jr. arc and the Dead Zone. The Dead Zone was the release of the Blackwater Mist. The Blackwater Mist coming back in the filler arc between Arc 1 and 2, between this game and the one prior. The Blackwater Mist mostly transformed the inhabitants and humans of the world into slaves by Garlic Jr. This also affected the wilderness, which is why the snakes in this game look so different to the ones in the first game. And that's the argument we're using. You've got the wildlife that are friendly, like the butterflies and the squirrels, and then all of the enemies have been transformed by the Blackwater Mist into violent creatures. This icon will be in every hostile area where we're expecting to see enemies. And it's a nice gimmick, but it's kind of, it's neither here nor there. I do like the charm and the twist that it adds after coming from the first game. And it's a nice touch because it also includes that arc that's been omitted, because it really wouldn't have fit as the start to this game. So now we've reached level 5, and yeah, the filler arc does get mentioned in one other place, which we will see later down the track when we go to explore more map locations. But I do like that the Blackwater Mist and the Garlic Jr. arc, and to a lesser extent the Dead Zone movie, are covered because of the way that they're integrated into the enemy mechanic for this game. It is a really nice touch, and a lot of people, I feel, would probably be neither here nor there because of the fact that it kind of goes away very quickly and feels very impermanent, but I think it's a nice touch. Goku's kitted out in his gi, and now we're heading to West City, which is an update in our journal. Okay, go to West City. Meet Krill and the others in the Northern Wasteland. Yep. Okay, so we can go back to the Northern Wasteland, but even though Goku is traveling with us, we don't have access to him as a player character. Main thing we need to do is head to West City. Mostly because, as you may have seen further below, and I love the fact that this is visible, we've got to go to Capsule Corp, and the main city attached to it is right here. I love that you can see it on the map. It's a nice touch. But we arrive here in West City, and there's the middle of a parade. Piccolo said to meet us around City Hall, but we don't see him, so Goku's going to head to Capsule Corp, and yeah, basically if we see Piccolo, let him know. We may want to pay Bulma a visit, and we've basically got two main divides of the quest. And now is explaining why we're going to have a bit of difficulty getting to Piccolo. We can get the Hercule Parade started to get access to Piccolo, which is the Gold Star, or we can head to Capsule Corp, which is the Bronze Star. I like working on both, so first thing we're going to do is talk to everyone here. Our city was under siege from a ruthless warlord. I knew there was only one man I could handle a threat of such enormous magnitude. Goku, right? Hercule. That is a name. You are going to be... Hercule, who dat? I only watched Dragon Ball. Who dis? Sorry, I just watched Kai 3. It was brilliant. Anyway, you don't know how... Have you been living under a rock, boy? Only watch Dragon Ball. Oh, love it. Oh, maybe I can learn about Hercule Day in the West City. Okay, it is a national holiday for the survivor. What? The savior of the evil warlord's adventures. We need to get the parade started, which has added a new thing to the journal, a silver star. Subset from the gold star. Get an open-faced club sandwich for Hercule. It is his favorite meal, and it is a delicacy of West City. Why, if it was one of my loyal fans. The Hercule guy we've heard so much about. The reverse would have been hilarious, because if I talked to Hercule first, he would have talked about the fact of, you've never met me before. Gohan goes on to talk about the fact that he'd love to see Hercule fight Goku. And also, the open-faced club sandwich. Now we've received Hercule's autograph. It's sure to mean something to someone. Oh. Your hero, Hercule. Words cannot describe. Also, I love the fact that the sprite on the autograph is perfectly proportioned with his forward sprite in-game. Also going out about sandwiches that he doesn't like. Have we met before? What do you want? I love the fact that all of the NPCs in-game have really interesting dialogue that cycles through, and it's really nice. It adds an extra touch to things. It also means that we get a little bit of variety compared to the NPCs of South City. From the last game. So this is the map we're working with. Capsule Corp is to the east. South of here is the forest, and east of here is what's known as the Warlord's Keep. West is known as the Keep. What's to the north is the highway that goes to Gingertown, a different location. First thing we want to do while we're in West City, though, is we actually want to do a bit of exploring, because we're going to be opening up a handful of side quests, mostly with those capsules over there. Now, if I remember correctly, the first one we can actually get is from this boy here, because you meet Anna here, his mother. Her husband runs an antique store, and her son is walking around in circles. And does she mention it? Yeah, because it was dreams of antiques. Okay, she doesn't mention the thing. But basically, we have the option of offering this kid Hercule's autograph. If we hadn't talked to him, if we talked to him prior, he would have talked about the fact that he is a big fan of Hercule. Possibly one of the biggest fans for his age. And for that, we get our first golden capsule. This potentially can open up another quest later down the track. And as we go over to the items, we see, unlike other capsules, there's only 25 of them. This is a massive collectathon, and as you can see over to the left, there is actually another one around that wall. So, I'm going to go around the back here. back here over to the antique store, which funnily enough is run by Merv, the husband of the woman we saw just before, and grab our second golden capsule. Pretty neat. Love it. Fantastic. And there's a guy in the alley here. Spare change, please. Like, I love the fact that based on the appearance of NPCs, there is distinctly different things. Even the cats. They talk, and then they have ellipses, and they meow at us, and it's really nice. The way that everyone has been fleshed out is a really nice touch. And it really adds to the personality of these characters. It's a wolf! It's the wolves from Legacy of Goku 1! And they've been turned into delightful blue puppies! Unfortunately, oh, and this is the heartbreaking thing, we cannot pat the dogs in Legacy of Goku 2. And on that note, unfortunately, we're gonna head to Capsule Corp and leave that exploration there. There is a lot of things in West City, and I think, first things first, we've gotta go give Goku an update on the fact that we can't get to Piccolo, and go to Capsule Corporation. And after we do that, we can start mucking around in West City a little bit more. Trapped by the Hercule Day Parade, Piccolo's only salvation is an open-faced Club Stanley. Will Gohan be able to find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z?